And that affected my startup more than I thought it would. There are a few things I would love to tell my 30-year-old self, but I can't. But maybe it helps you. Maybe you are around 30-ish, young family, scale up, busy till here. There's a few things that I thought I had nailed back then and I knew really how to do it, but I didn't, and I got them awfully wrong. And they were very much around relationships and family and how I treated myself. And that affected my startup more than I thought it would. So maybe this is for you. Number one, whatever you do, give it your undivided attention. I made the mistake to move my office into my house. So I had this big space under my house and I thought, you know what, I want to be close to my family. I want to see my kids grow up. And so I thought I work from home. And that seemed like a brilliant idea. Like everybody else was going to offices and sitting in cars all days and stuff like this. And I was so smart that I, ran my business from home. But I ended up not doing my business well because half of my attention was with the family. And I didn't do fatherhood well because half of my attention was in the business. So I was always only half there. And I don't think that was very helpful. I also thought that being really busy is what you have to be. It's like these leftovers from the Industrial Revolution, where we think we have to work 8 to 10 hours a day and that makes us worthy, and it's bullshit. Sometimes we can do some brilliant stuff in 3-4 hours and we're done for the day. And you're a scale up now, you don't have to work so hard you don't have to work at all in the business anymore. You work on the business. So you can now afford to delegate all the important things. All the things that only you knew, they are now in systems, or you're moving them into systems, and just really focus on that stuff that is important to your business and do that. So perhaps you have an office that's not too far away from home. You have a place where you can close the door and the kids and the family know that this is you time. This is the business time. And you focus 100% on your business. And then you come home and maybe you cook, maybe you clean the house, maybe you play Lego with your daughter, maybe you have a little dance with your partner through the living room. But be there 100%. Give your child, give your spouse, give your partner, give your brother, give your father, give whoever you're with, your best friend, your undivided attention. Just like you give your business your undivided attention. And 20 minutes of undivided attention with my child, I had these moments where we've just played. We grabbed leaves and sticks and pretended there were little boats and we put them on a river, and that took maybe 45 minutes. And they still talk about it. It's a childhood memory. Yeah. The second thing I would like to share with my 30-year-old self is that stuff is just stuff. Don't worry about money so much. Don't worry about the mortgage so much. Man, if you lose that house, you lose that house. I mean, it's unfortunate and it's a little bit traumatic, but it's not the end of the world. Losing a relationship, on the other hand, that sucks. You can always get back money, you can always buy another house, hopefully. But once a relationship is gone, it's gone. That's it, it's over. So prioritize relationship. And money doesn't make you happy at all. Relationships do, money doesn't. Not having money can make you unhappy, so you're in minus, like you're unhappy because you worry about money. But then having money doesn't make you happy. It's a hygiene factor. It makes you unhappy. It gets you to zero. Having more money and more money and more money once you pass that threshold of not having to worry about it anymore, it doesn't make you any happier. Relationships do. Spending a day camping with your little son or daughter, doing something with your best friend, having a deep and meaningful conversation with your grandparents before they're not around anymore. I think that is actually so much more meaningful. And I prioritized earning money and what the clients needed and what the business needed over my own personal needs. And when I say my personal needs, I didn't mean watching TV or something. I meant like being there, being present, you know. And one day, people that you really love right now, they won't be around anymore. So, you know, I remember this one time, my grandparents were all still around. I was, I don't know, 35. And I lived in Australia already, and my grandparents lived in Germany. And I was a little bit short of money at that time. All my money was invested in my own startup. And I had this feeling that I wanted to travel and go back to Germany and spend some time with them one-on-one and hear the stories that I haven't heard yet, talk with them as an adult to an adult. And I wanted to spend time actually getting to know them a little bit better before they're not around anymore. And I was struggling making that decision because it cost so much money doing it. And I had a very wise employee, a Swedish woman, Karina. Hi, Karina. And she said, how would you feel about this in 10 years? And I felt like in 10 years, I wouldn't remember how much money I had in the bank, but I definitely wanted to have done this thing. So I booked the tickets and I did it on my credit card. I went to Germany and I had this wonderful time. And I learned a few things about my grandparents that I would have missed out on. So prioritize relationship over money. 30s is a very interesting time. There's a lot of people around that, you know, with energy that won't be there forever. And you're 50 like this, I'm 60 now. And it went so quick. My son turns 30 in 20 days. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, it goes very quick and don't miss out. Prioritize relationships over stuff and over money. One thing I never really did was exercise. I lived by the beach, so I got a surf in here and there, but I was well in my late 40s before I started taking exercise a little bit more seriously. Time box, time with your family, time with the important tasks in your business, time box some exercise. And it doesn't have to be gym. You know, if gym is not for me. I find gyms really boring. My son, he loves gym and he's, you know, we're all different. So I'm not saying you should do one thing or the other, but find what works for you. And if it's just a long walk in the forest, nature is very important. Spend some time. Slow down. See, when I was 30, I always thought working harder would always help. That was always my answer for everything. And only when everything around me broke and I couldn't work at all, I realized that working harder makes things slower sometimes. You know, my grandfather always said, after fast comes slow. And he was very right. So don't work too hard, get plenty of rest, cut out all these unnecessary habits, like watching Netflix until 12:30, just because you feel like after a long day, you want to come home, you have a pizza and you want to watch something and it's quiet in the house, the kids are asleep and it's you time. I get it. It feels like you deserve it. But it doesn't work in your favor at all. So maybe just go to bed, read a book, dim down the light, After 3 pages, you feel so tired. Go for a sleep, wake up with the sunrise, go for a walk, sit in the cafe. Let your brain wander a little bit. In the morning, don't wake up and go straight into your mobile phone. Just sit there, sit on the sofa and just look at the back of your hand or whatever, you know, just chill. And if you have a young family, be present, just be with them, just be there. Be really there. Don't check your email. There's time for that. Don't. And if they're all still asleep, maybe you want to use that time for yourself. Do something that is really meaningful for yourself, because that brain of yours needs play, it needs rest, it needs inspiration. You know, if you just go from task to task to task, you just rush, suddenly 10 years are gone. I know it sounds really weird, and a lot of people say that, but it's true, man. It's true. Dude, I'm 60 now. 60. I remember my son being born, and I cut the navel cord. That feels like a few months ago. And he's turning 30. 30, fuck. Yeah, so slow down. We think that we just get everything out of the way and then we rest, and that doesn't work at all. That doesn't work. Doing things deliberately, not doing things that don't move the needle, not doing things that are not good for us, cutting toxic relationships out of our lives, that's a good one. Don't spend time with people that don't love you for who you are and that don't support you in what you do. Break up with them, break up with friends. Say goodbye to family members and just, you know, don't spend time with toxic people. Surround yourself with inspirational people, people who love you, people who lift you up. And people who tell you all the tough shit that you need to hear from time to time. Spend time with those. And again, be present. Yeah, so in hindsight, I wish I would have spent more time with me, by myself. Go camping, switch off the mobile phone. Just for a weekend, just unplug. Whenever I had a moment, I spent it on somebody or something else, and that was probably not the best way. And yeah, as you might have heard by now, that I had burnout and it wasn't very pretty, and depression is a big side effect of it. Oh, there's another thing I would have told my 30-year-old self is watch out for the early signs of depression. Not wanting to go out anymore. Like not wanting to go to birthday parties or socialize, not seeing friends, not really want to hang out with your family, not like you just think you want to veg on the sofa or work. Work becomes this one big thing in your life suddenly. And socializing and having fun seems like a task. It seems like something you don't want to do anymore. And when you feel you don't want to have fun, that's a big red flag. So go out, have social interactions with people that matter. Spend time with friends. You know, another thing that I never really understood is having good male relationships, having good friends, having older mentors, and talk with them about how I feel, you know, tell them that, hey, it's all a bit much right now, you know. Guys struggle, cry more, you know, cry more if you're a guy. It's good for us. We need to cry, it's very important. You know, that's something I would have loved to tell my 30-year-old self. Cry in public. It's fine, it's fine. Men are allowed to cry too. And it feels better when you're done. Yeah. See, I had this idea that I work really, really hard, make a lot of money, and then I live. And that's not how it works. Life happens the whole time. Life happens while I do this video, and I kind of want to finish this now because I want to get some water and go for a walk. It's very beautiful out here. And I think you get the idea. Maybe one day there is a machine that can send back videos in time. I would love for this video to land on the 30-year-old Bonnie's desk one day. That would have been nice. Hey, love you all. I'm logging off and I'm going for a walk. It's beautiful here. I show you. Have a look. Oh, isn't that spectacular? Oh. Look at that. Oh. Isn't that beautiful? Have a look at this, hey? Isn't that beautiful? There's Sydney somewhere there in the background. Love you all. See you later.